Hi, everyone. Frank
Hi.
Klesitz, Vyral Marketing. What's up, clients? Are you enjoying meeting in public and implementing your
Yes.
marketing with everyone watching every single week? All right. Let's do a recap of where we are. So we are on lesson 5. So let's just kind of start with getting everyone caught up of what we're trying to accomplish here. Stacy and Dallas, you guys want listings. Brian, you're looking to recruit agents. Julianne, you're looking for listings. And ultimately, you probably need to recruit agents to those listings. So you're all Vyral customers. Let's go through really quick where we are at. So Frank, I need better results. I want more ROI from the money I'm paying you at Vyral. Well, here's the questions I ask. Are you prospecting or advertising correctly to build a database of your target client? Stacy and Dallas, you guys mailed your letters this week.
Yes.
So you've decided on direct mail out to homeowners are likely to sell to call you. And those calls will start coming in next week. Julianne, you also decided on your way you're going to do it as direct mail. And that's been working very well for you. And then Brian, you're doing outbound prospecting with probably an assistant out to all the agents in the area to offer your updated book of scripts. That's how you build the database. And if you guys want to know more about that, go on meeting number 1. Just to be clear, we do not execute meeting number 1 for you. So Vyral Marketing does not do anything for you on meeting 1. However, because I'm getting blown up about, Frank, can you do cold direct mail letters for me? Because clearly they work, right, Julianne?
Yes, they do.
I'm open to doing that personally for a select few. And you can just go to my website, frankklesitz.com, and book a call with me directly if you want to learn more about that. All right. But Vyral does not do that. Now let's go over here to lesson 2. Okay. We're building the database of the right people with the right messages to a target market. Do we have the database on file? Do we have the emails? Do we have the retargeting audiences set up? And can we grab your existing list to start marketing to them? And that was a very technical conversation that we have to take you through during the build process when you're a Vyral customer. We covered that. That's lesson 2. Okay. We're building the database with the haven't mets. So we're working our haven't mets. And then we're working our mets and everything's syncing up right. So now with all these nurtures and all these past clients and all this sphere, are they getting 2 helpful videos every month? Quality 3 to 5 minute YouTube videos answering a commonly asked question. Are they going out by email? Are they getting promoted on social media? Yes, we covered that on lesson 3, right? But that's nice. We can get the people to click the links in those. But really, how do we spike response from the database? Well, it's sending out a lead generation message. Let me show you one that generated a couple hundred seller leads just the other day. It just went out. And I think this was where we left off last time, was an assignment for your lead generation message. Okay. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Let me bring it up into a new window. Or not. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Get the latest market sales price for your Utah home. See how much your home sales price has increased this year. So you see this nice little sales email that goes out. No video. Just find out what your home is worth out to the whole database. They click it. And that's going to his current landing page on his website. It could also go to a form that we create for you. And people go there and they re-enter your funnel from your database. It's a great way to spike leads. Got it? We talked about that last week in that recording. So let's move on to today's lesson, unless you guys have any questions. But today's lesson is going to be the last piece of the 36 touch program. So this is your 36 touch nurturing program. We have to build the database, which is meeting number 1. We have to make sure it's in the system. And now we have to nurture the existing database with 2 helpful videos a month, 1 lead generation email a month. But I'm telling you, we also want to get a little bit of direct mail out to your top contacts every single month in your existing database, not the cold database, not like all the homeowners or agents, in your haven't met target market, thousands, tens of thousands, right? But your absolute best contacts in your existing list, let's not only get all the emails you have to videos, let's not only get them all monthly lead generation messages, but let's get them a monthly personal letter to your best contacts. Because here's the deal. This isn't that great. I don't really know if your best contacts that should see your stuff are seeing you on social media. No idea. In addition to that, I'll look at your email open rates and click rates. It's not really that high. I can probably tell you right now, 96% of the people in your database probably won't click the link, right? And I don't know what, 70% of your database won't even open the damn email. If you look at it that way, right? So direct mail is one of the ways you can make sure that if you have their best mailing address that's confirmed, that they actually get the right message, all right? So that's my catch up. So let's kind of see where you guys are at. Dallas and Stacy, give us an update on your assignments and where you are for getting this thing to work. Give me some feedback, where you at, and what questions do you have for me?
We have sent out our letter this week, excited to start seeing those results. We've gotten you all of our contacts from our phone, our Gmail, and our database.
Great.
And we are set up to start recording videos. And that's kind of where we currently are at.
Perfect.
Yes.
Anything to add,
We have
Dallas?
a website.
Yeah, we have the
We
website.
website built. And we also have 6 listings that me and Stacey are handling. So
Good. Great. And all your rentals.
and
Good.
all the rentals.
Jillian, how you doing?
Doing
Any
great.
updates for us?
Yeah, I signed 2 more listings coming soon. So we have things that we've got to work on there. Have 3 more coming up. And all of those are going to be buyers as well. So I'm very busy now.
So
And
they're selling there to buy.
I got 6 more leads from my letters. I don't know what took them so long to call, but they're just now calling.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at that, guys. We want to see, like, let's go back to lesson number 1 for Julianne. Everyone's like, oh, what's going on? So we drove them all to call or email. Are you getting some people emailing you, or is it mostly calls? Or
They're actually calling and texting, and
Yeah.
they're calling my direct cell number. They're not actually calling the call rail number right now, which I'm not sure why.
interesting. They must be like Googling you online
Yeah.
before they call the trackable number.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a look here.
Yeah, I've had quite a few of those that just called me directly, and I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
How'd you get
Yeah,
my
so
number?
let's take a look at, let's just, because you guys have your cold letter going out.
Yeah.
Let's see if I could take a look at some of the results here. So client direct mail, filter by, let's take a look here. Hang on, I want to, and number for Julianne, I'll pull it up, apply. Here you go. Yeah, so we basically dropped the letters in June, then you start getting 73 calls, 74 calls, 24 calls, 4 calls, 6 calls, 3 calls for the week. Does that make sense? So these are all the phone calls, and here's everyone that called in. I see you're
Right.
classifying them as good or bad, and you can see all the calls. These are everyone calling you from your letter
Mhm.
about selling their house.
Right.
Capture them, burn them in your database. Super cool. And that program that I use there is Call Rail. It's a very nice way of tracking your inbound response. Okay. Brian, you there, buddy? You all right? If you have tell us how things are going with reaching out to agents and where you're at with your recruiting and doing the model we've shared so far for recruiting agents. Is it there? Nope, he's not there.
Muted?
That's okay. He had an issue that came up today that it's probably somebody watching in his office, which is fine. Okay, so let's talk about the lesson for today. All right. So now we're going deeper on getting the most out of our database. We understand we're going to hit the database with the point of diminishing returns with digital, social media, video, email, to the point where it's like you started getting diminished margin returns after a certain point. All right. But we would be fools if we didn't take our best seller leads and our best clients and put something in the mail to make sure they actually get the message, because we can't rely on digital. It's too hard to make sure that they get the nurture part of the system, which is a piece of direct mail. So let's go through exactly how to do that. I have an outline for you guys today that I'll post here in the chat that we'll go through. Okay, here we go. We're going to teach you guys how to send in a letter to your database. I'll put that in the chat if it allows me to copy and paste. Copy and paste. And it is not letting me do that. Copy, right click, copy, right click, paste. It's not letting me do it. Okay, well, if you guys want to take a screenshot, here it is. There you go, grab a screenshot. That's our agenda for today. All right. That's what we're looking to do. So, recap. Millionaire real estate agent lead generation model, Mets and haven't Mets. We reach out to the haven't Mets. You guys pick your strategy to bring them as Mets to nurture with the 36 touch program. That's what you're buying at Vyral Marketing. We recapped your assignments. Now for the lesson. All right. I would like you guys to go into a Google sheet right now and do this with me. So go log into Google, go open a Google sheet. You know what I'm talking about. Go open one. And we're going to do this together. All right, I'm going to bring it up on my screen. I now have a Google sheet like this. Got it? Monthly mailing list. Sound good? And I want you to share that with your coach so we have access to it. Got it? And I recommend you only share commenter access so no one other than you can mess it up. And the way that you do that is you click share. And I want you to share, type in the name of your coach, commenter access saying, here is my monthly mailing list. Okay. Here are the columns that I want. First name, last name, property address, property city, property state, property zip, mailing address, mailing city, mailing state, mailing zip. That is a mailing list. You guys see that? That's exactly how it should be formatted. You have the address of the property. This, by the way, should be for like every record of every homeowner you have in your database. When you pull the records from any deed, it's always going to have the property address and the mailing address where they actually receive mail. The property address is usually the same if they live there, it's owner occupied. If you're talking to a landlord or someone that opens multiple properties, the mailing address is different. And even now today, with virtual work and where people get their mail, Lord knows what else, the mailing address is different than the property address. Are we clear on that? So it's important that you know the address of the property of where the homeowner lives, and you also need to know the mailing address. It's usually, well, not usually, but there's a likelihood it's separate. It's different. So create that spreadsheet, put in the title of those columns, share it with your coach, commenter access. Now, we need to figure out who to put on the list, okay? I want you to use the concept of Dunbar's number. You can Google this, okay? Dunbar's number, there. Basically, no human being, it's very hard for a human being to hold relationships with more than 150 people. They studied this. Like if you want your tightest list, you need to follow Dunbar's number. It's about 150. Probably a real estate agent who's very social, and salespeople maybe a little more, but it's right around there. See this? The max number of relationships someone can probably maintain. And there's a whole bunch of science behind this. So we're going to start with 150. Now, the way I want you to think about this is usually it's kind of like I actually was going to go work in financial services before Vyral Marketing at a Northwestern Mutual. And here's what they told me. They're like, make a list of 150 of the brokest college friends of people that have no money, of just starting out in their lives that you're friends with. And you're going to go out to them and sell them literally the most least expensive policy that we have. Got it? And then you're going to work those broke friends and for referrals to trade up to people that have more money. And when you find someone with more money to go in your database, you're going to drop someone who doesn't have any and move them in. And over the course of your entire career, you're going to have billionaires in your list of 150. They told me, like, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. Okay. And this was like right out of college. And this is what they've taught this for like hundreds of years. If anyone studies Northwestern Mutual, their sales system is really great. They have what's called the one card system, going super old school here. But if you Google that, it's what they taught like in the early 1900s or something when they had to go build a business. I'm like, look, take 150 people with no money, communicate with them, but start building your clientele. And you need to max out at 150. So if you want to add someone, you have to take someone out. And you're constantly increasing, the value of the people at list of 150. So as the years go on, you have a really valuable list of 150 that are, let's just say for the sake of business, economically valuable to you. Got it? So that's the way I'd like you to think about it. I think we get lost where it's like, oh, I got to have a mailing list of 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000. Sure. Could you throw all your past clients on it? You have the money? Yes. Could you throw all these other people on your database mailer? Yes. But do you guys like that concept of 150 of constantly trading it up for the most valuable people? So here's the list. Study Dunbar's number to give that some thought. Think about how the story I told you of like how a financial advisor gets started in the business. You're constantly trading up and improving the quality of the economic value of the names on the list here. And now you need to go get some names. I'm going to recommend your past clients and your seller nurtures. It's a great place to start. So this is what is terrible. This is what no one does. This is why, this is a big reason why people fail, because this is really hard work emotionally. Julianne, do you have a list of all your seller nurtures? It shouldn't be too hard for you because they came in recently. How many do you think you have? How many people? It's going to cost you about $1 a letter per month. Of all your seller nurtures, how many do you have that are worth $1 a month to make sure they hear from you, so they list with you in the future? You're muted. Get to unmute here. I'm going to click ask to unmute. There you go. Click that.
135.
135. Perfect. There you go.
Yeah.
So put all 135 on there, and then go grab some friends from Facebook and some past clients that like you, that refer you. There's your 150.
Yeah,
Sound good?
I'm actually doing that with Adriana right now.
And you need to go put the first name, last name, property address. And and you're going to probably have to ask them what their best mailing address is. If you don't know, I would just probably use the property address.
Yeah.
Can you see how it would be just not rationally? Would you spend $138 to send a letter to those people every month?
Yes.
100%. Absolutely. And are you going to trust email and social media to be in front of those people?
No.
No. Okay. Dallas and Stacy, how many seller nurtures do you have? Or let's say really good buyer nurtures, do you know, that are worth $1 a month to nurture?
We don't have it listed, but there's at least 75. We just need to sit and put it together.
It's terrible. Open a box of wine, bottle of wine, whatever you need, get through it, and put them in the spreadsheet. Write them in there. And then you're probably gonna have to find out the property address. And if you don't have their mailing address, assume it's the property address, but you might just want to call and verify and just ask them. It's one of those things when you like intake a new lead to your system, I'm sure you probably ask for phone number and email and their contact information. You got to ask for like, where do you live? I'm trying to sell your house. Where is it? And if I want to mail you something, what's the best mailing address where you receive mail? Those are key things to ask when you add somebody to your database. Okay. So we'll start with your 75 or so. Then I'd like you to go through your past clients. Okay. And see which ones that would refer you or are happy or have left you Google reviews, and add those to your list because they can refer you. Fair enough? And see if you can get to a list of 150 for me. Brian. Yep. I know. Just one more thing, right?
No, I'm happy to do it. I'm grateful for you for making me do it, because it's
I get
a long time coming.
I got to tell you something. So just, you guys are probably, 150 letters. Well, I have 5,000, 7,000 emails. I work with really successful people in the industry that are doing digital marketing at a high level. And they come in here and they'll do the retargeting, they'll do the videos. But when I get like the success stories, when I send someone out to interview you and say, what made the biggest impact in your business? This, I'm like the CEO of Vyral Marketing. Like, those letters you told me to send really moved the needle from like, letters. Like, so part of me loves it and part of me is like, I wish it was like TikTok, but it's not, right? So I want to show you guys something just to prove this, to drive this point home, because Brian, I'm going to ask you who your 150 agents are you're trying to recruit here in a minute. All right. Now, Steve Lamothe is one of our clients in Sacramento. He's the #1 listing agent. That's not like a huge team in Sacramento. It's like the Zillow Flex account. Okay. And he shot this video for us. So
if I were to
can you guys hear
describe
this?
Vyral in one word, it would be partnership.
Can you hear this? Okay.
The most challenging video creation. A lot of the ideas that Vyral has implemented or suggested to implement, but where we saw massive success was we didn't really do direct mail to our clients. I always thought it didn't work. And the team at Vyral at one point pushed out the idea to take your video and turn it into just a letter, but it was probably the most powerful piece of mail that we sent, and we got so much positive feedback back from that. It was just a simple little letter. I would have never done that on my own. Our first year, we closed 126 units.
Cool. You guys like that? So that was a success story that came back when we did this interview. That's what he said, which is kind of interesting and indicative or instructive of what we're talking about here today. So mailing list. Brian, do you have agents that you have a relationship with?
Yeah.
And 150 might be
Yeah, I
maybe
was gonna
high,
say that.
but
I don't know
that
if I
seems
have
high.
that many. Mhm.
yeah, but again, we're not talking thousands. I mean, if it 100, but do you have agents on the other side of the transaction that you'd like to bring over? Do you have some agents that maybe have interviewed with you that you want to kind of recruit? Can you come up with that list and help your and make that?
Yeah.
One of the things that might help you, Brian, is usually you're connected on social media with other agents. I'd recommend you log into your Facebook and just click all your Facebook friends and start scrolling down. It's a really great memory jogger to figure out who to add to your list. All right. And then you're probably going to have to call them and ask them, where do you want to get mail? I want to send you my newsletter. You have the only way you're really going to know the mailing address is you have to reach out saying, I'm starting a newsletter. I actually want you to get it. I don't trust email and social media. I'm going to put it in your mailbox because it's important. I'm going to spend the money and you're worth a stamp to me. What's your best mailing address? That's the script.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Easy.
All right. Good. Okay. So you put it in a Google Sheet, share it with us. So it's very easy for me to download. All the fields are correct and it's an easy merge. Now, also I want you to keep in mind when you make the spreadsheet, please format everything correctly, because if you want to use, don't put it in all caps. Make sure that the first name's in proper case, last name's in proper case. The city is not like in all caps, right? Because when this stuff merges onto the letter, it's going to look weird if it's not like standardized in its formatting of the cosmetics of the information it sells. Okay. These are the details that are important. Now, let's talk about the letter, shall we? So we have the list and we know how to add to it. We know how to take off to it. We know how to build it. And it's just a Google spreadsheet. This is what I mail once a month. Easy peasy. So let me show you the letter. I'll put it in the chat for you guys. There you go. Now, Spring is an example here that's like, she has more than 150 and she has the budget, to mail all of her past clients, which was 1,314. Don't feel like you have to mail that many. Okay. But let me just show you the letter. So let's break down. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to drag that and I'm going to drag that. I'll put that in the chat for everybody. How's that? There you go. Hang on. Did those go through? I think so, in the chat. All right, so let's take a look at the letter. So page 1, here's the elements of a letter. You can go ahead and put your logo in the upper left. That's fine. I would recommend I would start with dear valued client, even if they're not. If if you don't have the right first name, or you're not comfortable with like merging first name because it's not formatted right, don't do it. If you want to mail merge first name, just put first name in brackets. Just put a bracket around like first name and put a bracket on it, and the mail house will merge in first name on the mailing from your Google sheet if you're formatted correctly. Don't put like Frank all caps, you know, if that's the case. So this is what she sent out. So usually the way these are structured is it starts with news, success story, call to action. So the first page is news, what's going on in business or what's going on personally, whatever you want. Here's what's up with my life, or here's what's going on with the real estate market. You can do either or. Then it should have a call to action and a little bit of a success story. So in this case, dear valued client, you know, this is our first letter. I'm just writing you because I want to update what's going on with home prices. Here's a little update. What is that? 2 paragraphs, if that? 1 long paragraph. Extremely clear call to action. If you're thinking of selling your home, call me. I'll tell you what it's worth. I have buyers. Got it. And a little bit of a success story. How many homes they've closed. Maybe this could be a little Google review, a little Zillow review. And then I invite them to go visit your blog to get to watch one of your latest videos. And then down here, you have all your contact information. Your photo goes down here like this with a little disclaimer for all the haters. All right. Then on the back is watch my latest video. It could be any one of your videos. Here's the title. Here's a screenshot. Here's exactly what goes in the email and a link to your blog. And you can even use a little free QR code, which is kind of cool. I forget what you use, like QR code monkey or something like that, which will take you right to the blog post. You guys like that?
Yeah, looks good.
Once a month. So front and back. All right. So 1 page. News, success story, call to action, latest video. Now we don't do this. Go ahead, Jillian.
Quick question. Is it the same letter every single month, or do you change
Different.
it? Different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same format, same cosmetics. All right.
Okay.
But we don't do this for every client because it costs extra money.
Yeah.
And they have to build a list. So very, very small percentage of our customers take us up on this because they have to have the list, and then it costs an extra $1 to mail it, right? But I'm sure if you watch this lesson and you see the value of the list and who you're putting on it, and you build a list right, it kind of hits harder of why this is important and drives the importance home. So all you have to do on your strategy, so when you do your video shoot with us, so you have 2 calls a month with us, you have your strategy call, and you have your video shoot. On your video shoot, you shoot your 2 videos, right? You record your 2 videos and your monthly video shoot with us on your phone using the Riverside app that we talked about. But also on that video shoot, I would probably just dictate to us just some news of what's going on in the market. And let's just dictate the letter. It's not much. I mean, I need about like 150 words from you about what's going on in the market. And then we'll write this. This is not difficult. We'll write like a little update. We'll write this for you based on what you say. We'll put the call to action there. We'll grab a little Zillow review. We'll tell people to go to your website. We'll model this. This is not hard. You just got to do a little extra piece of dictation of what you want to say in the letter when you're on your monthly video shoot. And then we just grab one of your video emails to the back. So you see how that's pretty systematized. Then we can go type it up. We just use a Google Doc to type it up. We can share the Google Doc if you want to look at it and make any changes. Then you're spending some money on this. We have your mailing list, and then it gets mailed, which I'm going to show you how we do that here next. So do you have any questions on the letter now that you have an example of how to format it and what it should look like, and you kind of have an idea of what this is going to look like going out every month?
So Frank, on the recruiting side, do you kind of have some
Great question.
formats or
Yes.
examples? Okay.
Same thing, news. Hey, this is Brian. Just want to update you. Here's what I'm seeing in the market with home sales, and here's the questions, agents are asking. Here's just some things that I'm seeing as a real estate agent, what we're dealing with. I'm sure you're dealing with it too. And if you'd like to come to one of my events or you'd like to schedule a call to talk to me, please call me, please email me. I'm here, right? With that, we just helped an agent go from 0 to hero. They're really struggling over at this brokerage. Now they're selling all these houses, making all this money. Feel free to give them a call and talk to them about the results over here. And I also included a link on this, I also included a video of one of the coaching videos I sent out to my office. I think you might find helpful here on the back of this letter.
Okay.
That's the gist. That's pretty cool. That's really cool, man. And on the back, it's going to have your latest coaching video. I don't know, what's the best CRM? Go to my blog and learn whatever the topic is. And we'll put that together for you. So you have the list, how to build it. Then I gave you the 1-page letter printed front and back on how to do it.
Yeah, that's what I
What
was gonna ask you. Is it good to share like a success story? Because we have
Real
so
short. Yeah, so many. Yeah,
We're
just one
making
little
it-
one.
making
Yeah.
our sellers $20,000 to $40,000 more than the
100%.
average listing, or should it be more generic,
Oh, it could be very specific. So think about your message of the month. It's like, okay, I gotta come with some news. Here's something new. Here's some news, right? That I can share. What video should I put in this? Which one of my 2 videos, or it could be a video in the past. I don't care. Which video should we put in this, right? What's the call to action? Call you for consultation, call you to find out what your home is worth. There has to be a reason to respond with your phone number, call to action, direct response advertising. And then tell me a story. Tell me a story about
Could it
someone's
even
problem you
be
solved and you help them.
Could it even be a video
Yeah.
specifically?
Success story.
for that letter?
Absolutely.
We record
Yes.
a video with the client, like just record
Sure.
a third video for that
Yeah.
month or something.
Absolutely. Put it in there. Yeah.
Our clients would do that for us, a lot of them.
Just so you know, I mean, you can go down a whole rabbit hole with this. You can get 3 pages. So you can get 3 pages front and back if you wanted to in this letter with at pretty much not much more marginal cost for $1. So we'll talk about this later on, but I love getting a free ride when I'm doing direct mail, where I get someone else to pay the cost of the postage by including a page on them. So this is a little outside of the scope of this lesson, but we're going to do a lesson on raising sponsor money. But I'm sure your lender or someone would love to get in front of all your seller and buyer nurturers, like your hottest people and best clients. You're like, bro, give me $150 a month. I'll send the bill to them for the mail. I'll give you a whole page and I'll write you like a letter of recommendation where people should use you and just stuff it in there. You can come along for the ride for free if you pay the toll.
Frank,
Right.
Yeah, I can do that too.
So direct mail is like one of the easiest things to zero cost because there's not much. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? Like, here's my best list of confirmed people going to get this. And it's like extra 5 cents to throw another page in there. I'll put you in there. And then I'll just send the bill to them to pay for the mailing.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
have
Dallas,
tons
go
of
ahead.
sponsors that would do that.
Go ahead, Dallas.
sorry, I actually answered my own question.
Nice. That's coaching.
Yeah.
Good. I'm a good coach. All right. Just because that probably got people excited. Solar companies, moving companies, credit repair companies, property management companies, financial advisors. Oh, you're a steak dinner to a financial advisor. Someone's selling their house, all that equity.
Stagers, listing photographers.
Yeah, whatever. Like, dude, give me like $200 and I'll put you in front of my 200 best pre-mover prospects.
I'm just gonna sell sponsorships and quit doing real estate. Just send out letters for people.
Hey, man, that's what I'm doing. It's good over here, man. I'm telling you.
Right.
All right. Well, here's the deal. I'll tell you this. I mean, one of the things I learned early on that there's no money in being a real estate agent. No money. There's no money in being a plumber. There's no money being a lawyer. There's no money in being the actual doer of what you do. The money is being the marketer of what you do. The money is in selling real estate agent services. The money is in selling legal services. The money is in selling plumbing services. The money isn't in providing them. And if you really reflect on that you make more money being a better marketer of what you do. You make your money selling the service, not providing it. And you really reflect on that, you realize, wow, all the money is in getting the appointment. And when you have qualified appointments of people ready to sell, it just gets bid down. I mean, there's a company I talked to at Inman. I'll give them a shout out, but they have Bid My Listing, where agents compete for the listing. Here, look. You can sign up on this platform and you all bid on what your commission is to get the business. Once you have the appointment, once you control the upfront relationship with the seller or the buyer, everyone will compete for the business, and it tends tends to push prices down that way. And that's where the margin comes in. Got it? So there you go, Dallas. That's a little, my thoughts on that. You enjoy
I
that
love it.
rant? You enjoy the rant?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Be the marketer of what you do, not the doer. That's where the money is. All right. Because there's a lot of competent people that can do the work that don't make a lot of money. They need someone like you to help find the business.
Yeah, that's been the struggle with the marketers and the doers. We're trying to make that transition to just being the marketers.
Yeah.
That's what
And you could find very, very, very competent doers, probably better than you, but you'll still make more money, and that's confusing to people. We have to understand why that is.
Yeah, it's actually, that's visceral right now in our business. We are dealing with that psychology right now. With our contract.
It's like it's not fair. Yeah.
We made $40,000 on our last fixing list, and our contractor made $8,500. And like that somehow compares to what we're talking about here. But it would translate into bringing in on other agents and doing that.
I'm going to give you guys I want to talk about this really briefly because I just think this is really interesting. These are the highest paid DJs in the world. Okay. Let's think this through. $42 million. I don't know who this guy is. $48 million. $50 million. $50 million. $55 million. I don't know, but when I listen to all their music, it sounds exactly the same. And if somebody was being paid $10 versus $50 million, I can't tell. I don't think anyone else really can, right? That's a really good example of you go from getting paid from the doer of what you do to the marketer of what you do, but then you start getting paid for who you are. You get paid for the brand because they sell nightclub tables. It's not the music. It's really interesting when you start figuring out like why that works. And if you can start moving away, this is what you guys are paying Vyral for. This is what we're talking about. We're moving away from being the doer to being the marketer of what you do. And then you start getting paid for who you are. And the DJs are a good example of that, which is all marketing. But I'm done with that.
Isn't
These are
that
things I
how
think about.
Spring Bee is
Yeah.
sort of doing her business?
Yeah, with Spring, I mean, that was a big thing is like, I remember sitting down with her is like, you're going to have the confidence to be very loud and leading your peers. Like, think about that. You're going to have to go to all the agents in your MLS and all the agents around the country and say, I know what I'm doing. Follow me. I have the way. Right? That's terrifying. And then you start getting marketed for, not just bringing in agents, but now you start publishing, this is what you're like, if you want to live the life that I have, very Instagram-y stuff, then come over this way because you want to be like me type of thing, where you start kind of goes down that DJ route. But anyways, I digress. Let's go back now to direct mail. So again, just really thinking why we're doing this. Let me show you how to place the order. So now you have two assets. You have the PDF. So you save the letter as a PDF, proofread, it's good, no mistakes. Takes a lot of focus to get that letter right? And then maybe you had a sponsor that you threw in there with another page to help pay for the cost and you send the bill to them. Great, we'll talk about that in later class. And now you have a CSV file, you export the CSV file of the list from the Google Sheet. Got it? These are the two assets you need. It's kind of like sending an email. Email, list, PDF, CSV file. It's kind of the same thing, all right? So now the mail house that we use is ITI Direct Mail.net. Okay, let me just show you how to order it. So this is where we go. I would like you all right now to go there and create an account. So log in and create yourself an account, all right? And then share that login details with your coach. So we can just log in as Charge It Direct. There's no markups, anything else. This is just like we use my Emma right now for our email program, and I'm always open to others. We use these guys to mail letters. Think of this as like another email program. This is like another constant contact. Same way of thinking about it, okay? So go ahead and create an account. And once you're in there, you're gonna go to Mail Merge Letters and Mailing, all right? And you see all these different examples of how these letters look? See this? I'm going to give you the secret. Pay attention. America sorts its mail over the wastebasket. You cannot come across as business or junk mail. Anything you do on that letter that will trigger this might be commercial or business mail, you're dead. It goes in the trash. Are we clear? So it must look like personal mail. But I'll give you one caveat. Because this is a list of people who know you and they're permission-based, and they have probably given you their mailing address to send them a letter and they're expecting it. Got it? It's okay to include your company name on the envelope. That's the only reason. If the list was not permission-based and they probably don't know who you are dead in the water if you put a business name on the envelope. Are we clear? I want to be very clear on that. That's like the most important thing I have you take away.
Hey, sorry, real quick, Frank.
Yeah.
I've organized a group of people in my community that like will handwrite letters for me. Like I can have a
go. Love it.
okay.
Yeah, fine. So yeah, 100% instead of, you can use humans as opposed to itidirectmail.net. That's an option for you. Sound good? Or it's like, someone prints them, stamps them, mails them. But let's just see what the comparable costs are. And I will tell you, the handwriting's overrated. If you really want the hand addressed, it's overrated. It's just not, it sounds good. It just doesn't. I've tested, I split tested it. Let me show you how to do the envelope right.
Because then we do have to pay them and it is expensive.
Yeah. I just think it's overrated. It's not necessary. It's not scalable. It's time consuming. It's a people dependent business. It doesn't move. It's just no. All right. But you could, I'm going to recommend not. So here's the deal. So let's go through how to order this. So let's say you have 150 letters. Got it? And let's just throw in there for fun. You found a sponsor who's going to pay for it. How about that? 2 sheets. They get their own sheet. So now we're going to mail 150.
Can you use both sides of the sheets?
Yes, you can. 100%. All right. So they'll let you do 3 sheets. So now the paper type, I want you to bump that up to 70-pound white. The 20 is real cheap and no, use 70-pound paper. And let's go ahead and do color on the front, blank on the back. I'm sorry, color on the front, color on the back, because that's your first page, right? So the first page is color on both sides because you're going to put your video on the back side. And we'll give the sponsor black and white, blank on the back. All right. Mail merge. Are you going to do any merging on the letter? Usually I'm going to recommend no, just put dear valued client. But if you wanted to, could you merge in first name or other things using brackets? You could. Cost a little more. I would only do that if your data is perfectly formatted. If you're not sure, don't do it. Got it? Envelope, just use a regular white envelope. That's all you want. Nothing fancy there. And the envelope printing style, I want black and white in the front, blank on the back. Got it? Postage, first class pre-sort. First class regular is fine. I think you get a little bit of a discount as your volumes go up with pre-sort. Pre-sort's all you need. The only difference is it doesn't print the cancellation on the envelope. Don't worry about that. And don't worry about the cancellation not needed. Just leave that blank. Handwritten font. This is the fake handwritten font. Don't do it. Okay. Now your return address. Now, here's your normal return address. That's how it should look. Got it? Street spelled out, just like that. Now, I will give you the option, and this is only because you have a relationship with the list. Are we clear? You can put your company. That's it. Otherwise, if it's a cold list, sound good? So in this case, I'll put the company because we're talking about mailing your existing permission-based. They're expecting you, they know who you are. Like, for example, if I sent you guys a letter that said Vyral Marketing on it, would you open it? Yes.
Yes.
No. Okay.
I would.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. Right?
Now I better get a letter.
All right. So we're all good there. So yeah, it's actually a little bit higher. So it's actually 228. Prices have gone up. So you're looking at $1.52. Let's see if I go down to 1, what that does. Let's do 1 sheet. Yeah, so it's $1.44. All All right, so let's call it one sheet. I want you to see how the price per unit comes down. So let's say if you got to 300, you're now at $1.19. That's a big savings. So there's not much more marginal cost going to 300. Let's go to 500. Not $1. So you kind of hit $1 at what, 450? No. Yeah, 500. Yeah, right about there. You hit about $1 a pop at around 500. At 150, you're paying $1.50. So you start figuring out like, man, there's not much more marginal cost if I want to mail more, you get more bang for my buck if you do want to grow the list. But you don't have to think of it that way. Now, if you add 2 sheets in here, because let's try to get a sponsor to pay for it. And let's say that you have 150. Stacy, Dallas, Brian, Julianne, go find someone to pay that. We'll talk about this in a future class. But Brian, is there anyone else trying to sell to real estate agents in Utah?
Oh, yeah.
Go talk to them and ask them for $228.35 a month, and you'll put them in front of your best people.
Okay.
And your existing agents. You can actually include your existing agents too on the letter. I think that'd be helpful as well. Okay. Julianne, Stacy, Dallas. Is there anyone in your market who wants to get in front of people looking to move? That are like right there at bottom of the funnel?
Yes.
Do you think
Yes.
they'll pay $228 to be in front of them with your endorsement letter with a confirmed mailing address?
Yes.
Go find someone, send a bill to them. All right.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is we're going to put it all in here. You click order now, put your credit card in or theirs. All right. And order it. And what they'll do is they'll send you a proof to your account. And it's nice that the proof will go to you because we're going to do it inside your account. Okay. Take a look at the proof, make sure it's good. You sign the DocuSign, they mail it. That's how it works. How you guys doing? You guys getting an education on direct mail?
Yeah.
That was
Good.
great.
Yep. All right. So we covered the importance of it. We covered building the list. We covered creating your own account. We covered how to get a sponsor, what selects I want you to run. A couple other nuances, some detail to make this work right. When you place the order, it's going to say, are there any comments you want to leave for them as they process it? Here's some comments I recommend you put in there. Tell them 14-point font on the envelope. The larger the font, the better open rates we get. Looks like grandma printed it. All right. I'm serious. Like if you go really small fonts, it looks too commercial. If it's bigger fonts, it looks more personal. So go 14-point font on the return address and 14-point font on the mailing address in the envelope. The font, Times New Roman. Times New Roman, ask them for Times New Roman font on the envelope. This is after mailing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of things, like the highest level. All right, Times New Roman font. All right. And then in the letter, ask them to sign your name at the bottom in blue ink. So they'll actually use handwritten font, and they'll sign your name in blue ink in the signature part where it says sign here. They'll put that there. Just remind them to do it. And if there's any merge fields, let them know too that you want to, hey, please merge first name in the envelope in the letter as well, if you wish to do that, and your data is good. How's that?
Do you think having a colored envelope helps?
No,
that?
not necessary. I've tried. It doesn't actually, it looks, actually, it kind of comes across as a little, I'm trying to be tricked. Someone's trying a little too hard, kind of like with the handwritten font. I'm telling you, just to guide you, the white envelope, real stamp, 14-point font, typed in black. It's like, what is this?
It's kind of like sending a resume these days. You don't want to make it too quirky.
Yeah, it's just, I'm telling you, this, I mean, and sure, could you do a colored envelope? It's fine, but it's more money. I don't think it's needed. Nah. All right. Now, there's one last thing I want to share with you. Returned mail. Ugh. Bane of my existence. So you're sending it first class, so it's going to get kicked back to you if they're not there. All right. And it's going to go to your return address. Now at volumes of like 150, dude, just use your own office. It's not a big deal. Okay. And you'll get it in the mailbox, like return mail, and you have to set it on your desk. You go into your Google spreadsheet. I would probably like mark it, don't mail, and then you have to call the person and find out what the best mailing address is. There's no way around it. Give it to an assistant or something else. Okay. Now, at large volumes, that might become overwhelming here, like in the, like just doing that, because like you have to physically the pieces of mail. This is just a little tip. I use Earth Class Mail as my return address. So what the return address goes to them, they open, they scan it. So my virtual assistant overseas could see all the return mail without me having to like take photos of it and send it over, and work and call and follow up with the returned mail. Fair enough.
Is that Earth printed on the mailer?
No, it's a real address. You can get, they have addresses. I mean, so in Utah, they don't have one in Salt Lake. That doesn't really matter because it's your own list, but they might have a Utah list. Hang on. They have different addresses all over the country you can choose from for what's your return address.
Oh,
So
okay. So it looks like a home address,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yep, and they open, they scan it. And there's other ones too. Earth Class Mail is one of them. There's a whole bunch of a virtual mailbox company where it goes to, you're gonna pay for it, but they'll scan it. And now anyone in the world can very easily see the return mail, police it, follow up and update it, which versus like it's sitting here, how do I get the data off the physical pieces of mail to someone to look up if it's not in your office?
Now,
a
Frank,
little
when
tip.
you do have a letter come back, because I had, out of the 5,000 I sent, I only had 22 that came back undeliverable.
Don't
Do I-
worry about that.
Do I
That's
update the list?
no.
Really?
Yeah, no, don't, just ignore them. When you're doing like the thousands of cold letters,
Mhm.
just throw it away. It's not worth it.
Really? Okay.
Yep. Not worth it. Just
So
throw it
I'm
away.
not going to use that mailing list again.
You can, but I'm telling you, for the time and effort it takes, that cost 85 cents a pop times 20 to go research it and figure it out. It's just not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Don't do
Okay.
it. I'm just, from anecdotal experience doing it, you're always going to have return mail at scale. When you're doing a cold list, fine. But if it's a warm list of your best people and that gets kicked back, oh yeah, you want to
Yeah.
find out, yeah, like what the best mailing address is.
Got it.
So do you guys understand the two different types of mail here? We have the big, lesson one is like the big cold letters, okay, to a market, to the haven't mets. That's not today. We're talking about warm nurtures of your best of the best people getting their monthly piece of mail. Okay, that's my lesson for today. So now
What
you
did you
guys
take
should be
on-
educated on getting your monthly piece of mail out through Vyral.
What is your take on your address being a PO box that like you and your
No.
assistant share?
No, don't use PO box. Sorry, don't use it. Nope,
Okay.
not personal. So here's the rule. Every decision you make on mail. I mean, by the way, like the direct mail people are the only people that know that what they're doing, like in advertising. One of the companies I study is Gunderson Direct, the #1 mail house in the United States. I'll show you these guys. These guys are like the top direct mail marketers in the US. Here. These are all the brands they work with, and they publish their work. And I'm a geek, man. So like, instead of watching Netflix at night, I'm on their website, be like, oh man, what's Dish sending out? Interesting. What's the offer? Okay, cool. Okay, that's the offer. That's the mail. Still looks like it's not personal mail. Oh, that's how they did the envelope. Interesting. Okay. So I'll go through all these brands, and it's interesting if you go through like the home services brands and view their work. B2C maybe? Because Opendoor was a client, and I could see all the Opendoor mailers, which really helped kind of crafting my, yeah, here, Opendoor. Yeah, so they're doing the fake check. See that?
That works. We've done that.
And it's interesting, like how they did the field, data materials enclosed. Okay, they didn't use a stamp. Did they use a stamp? You know, just kind of, oh, and it's not coming from Opendoor. Hold on, wait. Hang on. So Opendoor is not in the return address. Do you guys see that? Appraisal department? It's coming from the appraisal department. What is that noise?
That's amazing.
It's the appraisal department. Oh, what a great idea. All right, we should try that.
Yeah, that's a great
Seems like
idea.
it's
That
working.
is a good idea.
Oh,
I
man.
would open that if I got a check in the mail from an appraisal department.
I don't think there's too many Zooms going on today where we're studying the return addresses on letters of what it says. That was cool. The appraisal department. That's a good one. I like that one. All right. We got a bunch of people watching these meetings. Do you guys have any questions? Let me make sure this is available to everyone. Yeah, so attendees can chat with everyone. Panelists can chat with everyone. I got the Q&A open here. Do you guys have any questions for Stacy, Brian, Julianne, Dallas, me? Hey, Frank, just want to thank you for including me on the training, Andrew. I'm working from a desktop and couldn't get logged in without authentication. Oh yeah, awesome. Yep. So these are all, you get all the replays going out afterwards so you can see them. If you have any questions, just ask them in the chat. What else do you guys want to talk about? What else is on your minds? Even if it's not on for today's lesson.
I've had a
Yeah,
couple of
so-
people reach out to me on this call wanting to learn more about my fix and list program. So I am kind of working on maybe a consultation type of thing, I don't know, to help people that are interested in maybe doing something similar
Yeah.
to what we.
Yeah.
We're not there
I
yet.
shared this with you guys. Again, I showed you Steve Lamothe earlier. They call it a concierge service. There's another word, fix and list or concierge is some of the words you'll see in the space. Probably an agent that I would look at and model. Steve does a really nice job. Here is that program. So the concierge system, renovate now, pay later. There you go. That's another way of saying it, right? So here's a chat for that. He does a nice job. Yeah. feel
Hey,
free-
Frank.
Anyone here? Yeah.
What? So my Facebook account got hacked or something happened to it and it's like gone.
Oh,
Is
by
there
the
a
way,
way
it just
to-
happened to mine. I was updating our Katie and Frank home buyers with all of our examples. And then I showed up one day and literally all my Facebook posts were taken down.
Well, no, I can't even log in. It doesn't recognize my login or phone
Yeah.
number. What do you do?
Welcome to the club. Welcome to everybody else in real estate.
It's kind of a relief.
It's
on
a
one
joke.
hand.
Yeah. I mean, here, look, I'm telling you, if your business is based on being on someone else's platform, you're just like renting your audience. You're a serf on their land.
Yeah, that's why I got off of Airbnb.
You know what I mean? You're a serf on their land.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, get the email address, get the phone number, get the mailing address. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to pay a toll. But if you're going to Facebook and you're going to, social media, you're going to pay that toll. And I'm telling you, their AI is just gonna be like, oh, real estate, fair housing, you're going to get us sued. If a class action lawsuit, cancel their account. That's what they're thinking. So if you're in the real estate niche, consumer credit niche, any risky niche of litigation where people are breaking the laws of how they're advertising or posting stuff on their platform that, is legal issues coming into that, you get flagged. And then you have to go fight them and there's no one to talk to and they don't get it back to you. It's a real hassle. So I wish I had something for you, Brian, but here's what we do. When clients' Facebook pages get flagged, we just create a new one.
Okay.
Brand new page to run the ads. When social media accounts get hacked, we just create a new one. We're just constantly creating new ones because we want to get the message on there, run the advertising, but we just don't have time or it's just too difficult to fight the other ones that are instated.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you'll see I have 4 ad accounts, 5 pixels and 7 Facebook pages trying to run my ads. It's common. Right. Yeah, Kevin, that is one of the things I want to share. When you guys do get returned mail, one of the things that they do. All right. Thank you, Kevin. Again, no affiliation, but these guys are pretty good. Batch skip tracing. So Julianne, something you can do is when you get returned mail, that might mean something's going on with the homeowner. I don't know, vacant, not paying their bills, whatever. Like there might be some issues there. Follow me? So you go to a skip tracing service. Batch skip tracing is one of them. See that? Type in the address and it will try to find their phone number and their email of who owns the property. Got it? And they're one of the bigger players in this space. I think it's like 15 cents. It's not a big deal for so if you had 20 records, $3, Julianne. So you could take the 20 people that got kicked back, pay $3 and get their contact information. And then you call them up like, hey, I'm just trying to tell you, I have a buyer for your house. Do you want to sell it? And they might be a little more open to a conversation because there's some reason their mail didn't go through that might turn into a deal for you. That's pretty typically taught like in the real estate investor space is like, oh, the return mail, let's work it for possible deals.
Well, my area, I have a lot of rural locations and they don't even have a mailbox at their driveway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because
is-
vacant homes is a good, it's kind of how you get first. You're like one of the first people to know the home is vacant before it like ends up on like prop stream under vacant homes. So when that gets kicked back to, it's like, I might have some inside information that's vacant that no one else knows to reach out. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Cool. All right. Monthly piece of direct mail out to your list. 2 videos a month. Monthly lead generation offer. Create a small little segment of your best database and let's put something in the mail to them with everything we talked about today. All right.
Yes.
Let's cover what we're going to talk about next week.
Are we on Friday or
Um,
Thursday next week?
Great question. Let's find out. I'm back home now after a long summer of travel. We are on Thursday. So we're on Thursday next week. I'll send you guys the updated meeting request.
Okay.
And what's our lesson next week? Even I forget. I got to check my own lesson plans. I write the sales pages for me, not you guys. So I can go back and read my own course. Okay, great. Retargeting. So now we're going to talk about Facebook and Instagram. Oh, I'm going to have fun with them. All right. And we're going to talk about, putting some money behind this stuff to increase the frequency of people seeing it. Sound good? That's next
Yeah,
week.
I'm just starting that with Adriana.
Good. Wonderful. All right. That's it.
Cool.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Frank.
Hey, thank you.
Bye, everyone.